Hey everyone, thanks for joining Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and today I'm looking at a brand new game coming to Gamefound, which is Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising. This is a new standalone game from Lucky Duck Games. It is a 1 to 4 player game. It takes roughly an hour and a half to play. It is a fully cooperative game where all the players are working together to defeat the scenario they've chosen to go on. In the game itself, the players are going to take on the roles of one or more heroes and gather up their starting towers to try to defeat wave after wave of enemy hordes as they make their way towards the hero's kingdom. If the players are able to defeat all of these hordes and meet the requirements of the scenario they've chosen to go on before the hordes are able to destroy their kingdom, then the players have won, otherwise the players have lost the game. In this video, I'm going to show you the main features of the game and talk about some of the small differences and changes to the game from the original Kingdom Rush Rift in Time. I'm also going to show you a sample round to give you a basic idea how the game plays. As always, if you find these videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we can continue to grow and produce this content. If you want to stay on all my videos, also consider ringing that bell so you get notifications anytime I release new stuff. So let's go ahead and head to the table and we'll find out what this one's all about. The first thing I want to start looking at are the core heroes, and there'll be 5 of them included in the base game. With this particular prototype, I have 2 of them. The first is Brexa, and she is a voodoo witch that will use fallen spirits to help fight her enemies. She has a basic attack that will use a 2 square that she can rotate in any direction, and then she has a couple of really unique special abilities. First off, as she goes through her turns, each time during the destroy horde phase, if she's on a horde or adjacent to a horde that is destroyed, she gets to add a token to her track. At the beginning of her turn, before she does anything else, if she has any tokens on her track, for each one that she has, she gets to place a square in an adjacent horde, which is really helpful. Now, she will have to be careful on how she's positioned, as she won't be able to change her position before using this ability. Then if she has all 4 of them filled up, then she's going to also do an additional attack that will allow her to use this, and then she'll have to discard 3 of them. So a lot of her game is going to be managing those tokens, and some of the special abilities will also be affected by those. For example, with the Dread Aura, she's going to get to place soldiers out, and then if she has 2 or more of those tokens, then she won't exhaust that ability, which is going to be really handy for her. The other hero I have is Elric, and he is one of the last of his kind. He is a desert warrior that can command the sands of the desert to aid him in his battles. At the beginning of the game, and each time he rests, he will gain his 2 sand warriors. Anytime he activates, each sand warrior can activate independently, being able to move up to 2 spaces, and then if it is in the same space as a hero, it will grant that hero protection, which means that that hero will not take damage from any source. Elric is a melee fighter, which means he must be in the same space as a horde to attack it with whether he's using his basic attack or some of his abilities. He is a very diverse fighter. Being able to bring out those sand warriors is going to be a huge advantage to the hero players as they play through the game. Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising introduces a second resource now, the gold coin. When defeating hordes, some of them will grant you a gold coin or a choice between a coin and a crystal. During Phase 6, when spinning crystals, the players will also be able to spend coins to purchase modification stickers to add to their existing towers. These are still prototype form, so these are subject to change, and each one of these stickers will have a unique power granting the players. Depending upon the scenario they are playing, each scenario will outline which stickers can be used in that scenario. And each sticker will grant the tower it is added to a certain benefit, such as adding additional tiles, or soldier, true damage, or even unlimited range, among a number of other things that will be included. Elemental Uprising also introduces some brand new enemy types, as well as a big change with portal cards being eliminated. There will be event cards now that will show up a lot more in the stacks, and each one of these event cards will have all kinds of different features depending upon the scenario that it's introduced in, including cards that will spawn additional hordes and introduce new enemy types. You're also going to have mini-bosses now, and each mini-boss will come with its own deck of cards, and before activating it, you're going to reveal that card. For example, with this one, depending upon the number of skulls that are face up and have not been covered by tiles, it may activate that mini-boss's special attack. And then there's also going to be a bunch of new enemies introduced, such as shamans that will put up barriers that will not allow towers to attack from those directions using that attack type. So with this one, for example, we have a magic barrier, and so towers cannot attack from either one of these directions using magical attacks. Then we have satyrs as well, which will have to be attacked with soldiers, heroes, or true damage. No other type of tile can be placed on them as they are too quick for most towers to be able to stop. Another new enemy are tough enemies, and those enemies cannot have a tile placed on them that will cover up multiple spaces at once. So each tile that you place on there can only cover up one space on a tough enemy, including the mini bosses will have that tough symbol as well. There will also be victory condition cards now that will outline the victory conditions of each scenario that you're playing. Elemental Uprising introduces a whole new collection of towers for the players to master. Again, these towers are broken down into 4 different types, and each type is going to introduce a brand new special rule. With the arrow towers, the player can use those as normal, or the player can choose to decrease the tile size by 1 square and target any horde anywhere on the board. The magic towers will allow the player to place a second modification sticker on them, as well as you work your way up the levels, it'll increase the tile size that is placed, as well as the directions you can place them in. Stone towers introduce new blast damage that will be able to target each horde in the directions shown and be placing a tile on each one of them. As you work your way up, you'll get to place larger tiles, as well as increasing the directions that those tiles will be placed in. Finally, the soldier towers are going to introduce splash damage. When a soldier is placed, it also can place a splash damage tile in an adjacent horde. As you work your way up, you'll increase the number of soldiers as well as the number of splash damage tiles you can place. And the final thing I want to show you is a sample round in action. Before getting into that, there's one other new feature I want to talk about, which are the tiles that the players can interact with throughout the game. There's 2 of these that I have in the prototype. The first are magic blossoms. When a player moves into or through a tile that has a growing magic blossom, they can choose to flip that tile over, and then they will gain 2 single damage tiles that they can place on 2 different hordes anywhere on the board, and they're both considered true damage, so they can place them on any enemy that's on those tiles. Next are the lava tiles, and these will have 2 crystals placed on them during setup, and when a player moves through that tile, they can gain 1 of those crystals, adding it to their supply. Now, these will also have other effects depending upon the scenario you're playing. From there, let's go ahead and get into the round. And so I went ahead and played through the very first round to give you a little bit better idea how this game plays. So each round is broken down into 6 phases. The first phase in each round is to spawn new enemy types from each one of the stacks that's out there. So starting with the first stack, I'll reveal this. This is a brand new event. So this one, it talks about satyrs, and they are going to emerge from the jungle. They are quick and able to dodge most tower attacks. So enemies that are vulnerable to soldiers must be covered by soldiers, heroes, or true damage tiles. And then this one's also going to have me spawn another tile from this section. So I'll go ahead and place a new tile out and introduce a new card. So this has got those satyrs that this event is talking about. Next, we have this one up here. So again, I'll reveal a new tile, and we have a bunch more enemies out there. The second phase in the round is the players phase, where the players will get to go and play their cards and move around the board. So first off, before getting into that, my character here, she has her new ability that she can trigger, and she has 1 token here, so she gets to place 1 of her single tiles on any horde that's adjacent to her. So with this one, we have this horde, so I'll go ahead and place that up here, and then we'll move into that phase. So first off, let's go ahead and start with my Eldrick over here. He has his tower here that he was able to upgrade with a modification sticker. So he's going to go ahead and place that one here. And this one has us place a square, as well as it's going to do that rock tile as well. So I'll go ahead and do that here. And then the rock tile I'll place up here, completing half of that already. Then he is going to activate his character, and we'll go ahead and move his Sand Warrior up here, triggering the Blossom. And that's going to let us place 2 out on 2 different hordes. So I'll place 1 there, and then I'm going to place 1 on here, as this is considered true damage, so I can do that. And then he'll move over to this one here. Next, I'm going to go ahead and move him onto this tile here, and I will do his basic attack. So I'm going to go ahead and place that there, and that one there. Then he is going to, I think I'll upgrade this tower here. So I'll go ahead and upgrade that to a level 3 now and give that to my fellow player. She is going to activate her player by, let's see, I will, let's go ahead and do this one here. So I'm going to do it like that, and that'll place 2 singles out. I will place one here, and then one goes on here, so I'll do it over there. Let's do this one here. I'll place it on this spot here. Nope, I don't want to do that yet. I'll do it on this one here, actually. So this one, let me place a soldier, so I'm going to place him up here. And then I do that splash damage, so I'm going to use that on an adjacent horde. So I'll do that here to finish off that horde there. Then I will go ahead and I will upgrade this tower. So I'll go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to upgrade this tower as well. And with my character here, or with Eldrick, I'm going to go ahead and place this tower over here, and I'm going to take advantage of that tower's ability, so it'll decrease its attack tile by 1, but then I can place this anywhere on the board. So I think with that one, I will place that on this one here to continue working on that. That is it. I don't have anything else that I really want to do during the round. So then it's going to move into the third phase where the heroes are going to destroy any hordes that they have completely covered. So I'll go ahead and handle this one first. So this one will be removed. Those tiles will be placed back in the supply. You'll get to flip it over and gain the reward listed on it. So I'll gain 1 gold coin. So that'll be placed in my stash, and then that can be removed. Next, I have this one down here. So I have a hero on here. So he is going to take 1 damage. And then this horde will be cleared as well. And he'll be placed back in that spot. And this one is going to provide us with a crystal. So I'll add that. And that is all the hordes that have been defeated. From there, then it's going to move into the fourth phase in the round, which is going to be advancing horde trays. So starting with the one that is closest to the exit and working my way back. So this one here will not move because there's a soldier on there. So the soldier is eliminated, but that tile won't move. And then next, this one is going to move, and it has fast enemies. So that one is going to move 2 spaces. From there, then we'll move into the next phase in the round, which is going to be picking up hero towers from their areas and placing them back on our hero board, our areas. Our heroes will also gain all of the towers that were upgraded to their areas. Okay. And then finally, the heroes can spend any crystals and gold to upgrade or purchase new towers. They can spend 2 crystals to buy a level 1 or 3 crystals to buy a level 2 tower. And then it's going to cost them 2 gold coins to modify a tower that they already have. From there, then, if the end conditions have not been met, then the players will start a new round and continue this until either they meet the requirements for defeating that scenario or the players have too many enemies that have exited and damaged their kingdom. Well, I hope you found this video helpful in deciding whether or not you want to back this game on Gamefound. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Or swing by the comments section and drop any comments you have there. I'm sure the creators would love to hear from you and are more than happy to answer any questions you have. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video and leave me feedback on it. I really appreciate it and take into account everything you say to make the best possible videos. Until next time, I'll see you later.